TN that Prime Minister David Cameron will apply for an emergency debate in the House of Commons today on the proposals for reforming press regulation. That's coming from the Speaker's office. We'll leave the Hacked Off campaign news conference there, and obviously coverage throughout the afternoon on this story.
Yeah, we are now in the last few minutes that the BBC News Channel will be broadcast from here at the iconic television centre.
From 1 o'clock this afternoon, all national BBC television news will be based at the BBC's new headquarters, Broadcasting House, in central London. Television Centre's building, shaped in the design of a question mark, was sold to developers last year.
Well, the broadcaster Esther Ranson spoke to us from the stage door of Television Centre, and she shared her memories of the building with us.
I first started working here in 1966, before you were born or thought of. I was up on the 6th floor. I was a clerk, and I worked my way to researcher. We made satire programmes from here, Saturday night, everything was happening here. And then gradually, as life went on, That's Life came from here. I have danced for Strictly here. I've done a consumer slot for BBC Breakfast News from here. I've worked on the election programme from here. I cannot believe that this iconic building, I know it's a cliche, but you know, a building which is so recognisable around the world and which is so associated with fun and important information, and if you want to know who your next government is, you tune in here, and David Dimbleby is... In fact, David Dimbleby, whom I met the other day, has no idea where he's going to be next time round. In fact, he thinks nobody knows where the election is coming from. So it's all a bit of a shame. Children in Need from here. That wonderful image, you know, of everything happening, the crowds coming in, people waiting outside. And do you know the funny thing about this place? Even now, every 10 minutes or so, there's a group of tourists who come through, fascinated by the magic of this building, being told about the two Ronnies and AbFab and all these other things. And now what?
Now what?
Now what? It is a sad day for many people who've worked here for many years.
No more getting lost, though.
You got lost?
I spent a whole afternoon lost in the basement of Television Centre. As one of those work experience, I think it's one of those being sent off for a long wait or something, perhaps. But terrified to go back, having not even found the place I was headed for.
It's fairly formidable. For some of us, of course, we remember
enormous.
Blue Peter, we think of Valerie Singleton.
And the first day, don't you remember your first day at Television Centre?
I do. I found the studio here and I've been lost ever since. We'll be back in just a moment. But first, let's catch up with the weather. It's an important week for weather.
Absolutely.
Stav, what's going on?
Thanks, Simon and Sophie. Yes, absolutely. It looks like it's turning decidedly wintry as we head through the course of the week. We're already seeing some snow falling across parts of Scotland. It looks like it's going to stay cold for much of this week. There will be a bitter wind blowing in off the North Sea, particularly across northern and eastern areas. And like I mentioned, we are seeing some snow already. Here's the radar picture from earlier showing this rain, which is turning to snow across the mountains here and parts of northeast England. Further south, though, 1 or 2 showers around, mainly of rain. But there will be some sunny spells in between too. So around the middle part of the afternoon, it looks like rather cloudy skies for Northern Ireland. Highs of around 6 or 7 degrees, bits and pieces of rain around, and quite a fresh easterly wind here too. For Wales, it looks like northern and eastern parts seeing most of the showers and the clouds. Southern Wales seeing a bit of shelter and also some sunny spells. A bright afternoon as well across southwestern parts, bar the odd shower. It could be wintry over the higher ground, but most of the showers are of rain here. And similar picture across southern counties, across southeast England. 1 or 2 showers dotted around, the odd heavier one mixed in too, some sunny spells scattered around too. For northern England, it looks like it'll be rather cloudy with some showers, most of those across eastern areas, maybe some long spells of rain, and then we're into this troublesome area of rain, sleet and snow with a strong easterly wind, as you'll notice there. That snow already accumulating to several centimetres over the hills already, but as we go through the course of the night, this is what we're focusing on. Amber warnings are set to be issued across eastern Scotland and for Northumberland as the snow keeps on falling. We could see up to 30 centimetres over the higher ground by the end of the night and several centimetres down to lower levels, even close to the coast by the time we get to the end of the night and into tomorrow morning. So it's no surprising there will be some travel disruption here tomorrow morning, something to bear in mind and to keep tuned to the weather forecast. Further south, though, it looks like it'll be a bit drier overnight, some clear spells, so we'll see some frost, ice and also some dense fog patches developing across southern and southeastern parts. So tomorrow morning we have that snow risk continuing across eastern areas. Watch out for that for the commute in the morning. Further south, though, bits and pieces of cloud around, some heavy showers, some thundery with some hail mixed in, but also some sunny spells in between. And again, temperatures holding up at about 7, maybe 8 Celsius in the south. Very cold in the north, and add on the wind, it's going to feel bitterly cold. On Wednesday, looks like we'll see a few wintry showers across northern and eastern areas. Best of the sunshine across the southwest, where the temperatures will be a little bit higher, but it will be cold, and it's that cold theme is set to continue. Well, I must say it's been an absolute privilege for me to be the last person to present the final weather broadcast from Television Centre. Louise Lear, my colleague, will have the new weather from the new broadcasting house, so I hope you can join her. See you later.
Stav, thank you very much indeed. Do stay with us. In a moment we will be crossing to our new home at Broadcasting House to join Sophie Raworth for the BBC News at 1. So, much excitement here about the move, some sadness too. After nearly 45 years of broadcasting from Television Centre, BBC News is saying goodbye to this historic building.
Well, once the home of programmes many of us grew up with. Blue Peter, Doctor Who, Top of the Pops, Monty Python's Flying Circus, and of course Strictly Come Dancing, to name just a few. This is the last news broadcast from the building we know here as TVC. Oh, it's quite moving. As we prepare for a brand new start at Broadcasting House from Television Centre here in London. Goodbye.
Regulating the press after the phone hacking scandal, a last-minute deal is reached by party leaders. But there's still debate over whether or not the system will be underpinned by law. We'll be asking what it will mean for Britain's newspapers, also this lunchtime. Stock markets fall over plans for a one-off tax on people's bank savings in Cyprus as part of an EU bailout. A £2 billion investment in the UK's air and space industry to secure the future of more than 100,000 jobs.
I'll be live in Baghdad 10 years after the American-led invasion that toppled Saddam Hussein. I'll be reporting on what's changed here in that decade.
And Frank Thornton, known to millions as Captain Peacock in Are You Being Served, has died at the age of 92.
And coming up in sport on the BBC News channel, Wigan youngster Callum McManaman faces a ban of up to 3 matches for this knee-high tackle on Newcastle's Masadio Haidara.
Good afternoon and welcome to the BBC News at 1. Leaders of the 3 main parties at Westminster say a last-minute deal has been reached on a plan to regulate the press